everyone, welcome back to my channel and another quarantine cooking video. Today I'm going to make salmon cakes with roasted red potatoes. I'm going to be using canned salmon and frozen potatoes, which I think are good to have when you can't get to the store quite frequently. And I'm going to pair it with a side of sour cream dill sauce. So let's just get right into what you're going to need. So you're going to need 1 can of salmon, any brand that you want. Some green onions. You're going to need a lemon, egg, salt, Worcestershire sauce, Old Bay seasoning, mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, fresh dill, onion powder, garlic powder, panko breadcrumbs, some sour cream, and I bought this big tin to last me a while. That's what you do during these quarantine times. And a bag of these Bird's Eye frozen oven roasted seasoned potatoes. They are delicious. You don't have to do much to them, and they come with onions, and you put them in the oven, and they're just a great staple to have. Okay, so that's everything you need. Let's get into it. Okay, so I had recording issues while I was taking the bone out of the salmon, so you won't see it here, but all you have to do is dump it in the bowl, pull it apart in the middle, and this is the bone, a line of bone that you'll see in the salmon, and you just pull that out. It's very easy to do that. Some people leave it in and mush it up into their salmon, but I don't like to do that. So it's completely up to you, but it's very easy to remove. And so you're going to want to flake it up like I'm doing here into smaller chunks. So here I'm adding the ingredients, starting with the green onions, and then I'm going to add some mayonnaise. And I just add about a couple of spoonfuls of the mayonnaise, and then I add a good heaping spoonful of the Dijon mustard. Then I'm going to add the egg and some Worcestershire sauce. I just do this to taste, maybe about a tablespoon. I don't use exact measurements, as you can see. That's not how I cook. And then I'm going to add some Old Bay seasoning, some garlic powder, and the onion powder. And then I'm going to just end with a little bit of lemon juice. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix it up really well before I add the breadcrumbs, because I like to see what the consistency is before I add the breadcrumbs. You know, the breadcrumbs are needed in order for them to hold their shape and not break apart when you fry them, but you don't want it too dry. So seeing the consistency first will help you kind of gauge how much breadcrumbs you actually need. So, and I do this by feel as well. So I've added a little bit here, and it's looking good. It's starting to bind together, but it looks like it could use a little bit more. So I've added a little bit more here, and that's it. And then I'm going to mix it up really well and start forming the patties. Okay, so here I'm forming the patties, and you want to make sure that you press them together really well. Make sure that they're compact, because that will help them not fall apart when you fry them. So just make sure that they're really compact, and then I put them on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper. And out of this 1 can of salmon, I was able to get 4 patties, which is good. And I put them in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, because that also helps them keep their shape and firm up a little bit more. So now I'm starting on the dill sauce, and I have the sour cream, and I've added the chopped dill to it. And now I'm going to add a good amount of garlic powder. That really adds to the sauce. And I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice as well. And then I think a nice addition to this is a little bit of Old Bay seasoning. So just mix that together really well. Make sure it's combined well. And the longer it sits, the more the flavors develop. So you can do this earlier if you want, or right at the beginning before you make your salmon cakes is fine too. But the longer it sits, the better it gets. So here I'm getting ready to put the potatoes in the oven. Now these potatoes are already seasoned perfectly. So I'm not adding any additional seasoning to it. The only thing I am adding is some olive oil, which I think helps keep them have a little bit more moisture when they are baking. So just a little olive oil, and bake them according to the package directions. So I like to fry my salmon cakes in olive oil and butter. I think it gives it really good flavor. I'm adjusting the heat here. You want to cook them on about medium heat, and you want to cook them for about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. So the salmon cakes are almost ready. They look great. And I just paired it with the dill sauce, the potatoes, and a side of cornbread. I really enjoyed this meal, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you make it.